to LinearC's Out of Bounds Toronto. My name is Izzy Hope 58. I'm going to be one of your hosts for the next run. Yeah, it's so good to be here.
And hello, everyone. LinearC is back on the mic again for the next exciting run that we have. Up next, we have Pseudoregalia 100% Out of Bounds by MadzBrutal. I'm super excited to see this run, so when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm MadzBrutal. I'm going to be running Pseudoregalia 100% for you. Very fittingly, this is going to be out of bounds and 100%, so we're going to do everything we can in the game. A quick note as well, this is an old patch of the game. A couple months ago, a new patch came out. It changed a lot of things, most notably added a whole lot of outfits that we would have to get in 100%. We're not doing that today because I submitted this a long time ago and it wasn't out by that time. So let's go ahead and just get into it, and I will explain the game and all the movement tech and all the stuff as we go. So I'll do a countdown here in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So this is a game that is light in plot, so there's not much to spoil. We are civil. We are exploring this castle, and we are going to find a lot of different ways to move throughout it. It's a 3D Metroidvania, so we're going to be getting a lot of different abilities that kind of change how we move throughout the run. The first one we're going to be getting here is the Dream Breaker, our sword/bludgeoning object. There we go. And we're not going to be doing a lot of combat. There's not a lot of combat in this game, much less this run. But eventually we're going to get an ability that when we have mana, do more damage. So I'm going to be stopping to attack enemies a few times here, which is going to generate some mana for us. It allows us to break down walls a little bit faster too. Coming up here is actually one of the most important pieces of tech in the game, although it doesn't look like it. It's going to be this backflip that I'm going to do here. So that just, we get Sybil into kind of skid animation. We just kind of skid backwards, and we jump, and she does a backflip. We're going to be coupling that with some other movement abilities that allow us to break the game very much. Speaking of breaking things, I'm going to take the time to break down this wall here, because we're going to leave the dilapidated dungeon by a route that we're not supposed to. We're going to be going through there after we get our second ability right over here. And the second ability is going to be Slide, and it doesn't seem like it's too game-breaking of ability, but it absolutely is. We're going to see that I can cancel my slide, put myself into a skid animation, do a backflip, and then flick my joystick forward to do that backflip forward, like so, and we can get to all sorts of different places, including getting speed off of ledges like this, and we can do a bunch of bunny hopping to save momentum here. So here we are. This is not the way out of this dungeon. This is a way to backtrack through here, so that is why it is dark. We don't have the ability yet to see. But since I have these ultra hops, I can get to a lot of places I'm not supposed to.
I love these ultra hops, these bunny hops. They're so cool looking and just so fluid.
Yeah, hopefully they keep looking fluid. There's a lot of actually inputs just to do every single one of them. None of them are free. So it's a very rhythmic game when it comes to... Speaking of rhythmic, I'm screwing up some of my glide hops here, which I'll explain what those are later. But if I ever just jump seemingly in the middle of nowhere, it's because I've screwed up some of the movement tech that's frame perfect. Coming up here, we're going to have our next ability. That is, there we go, the Ascendant Light. This is going to allow us to bounce off of enemies and objects with our Dream Breaker. So we're going to come through here. These black orbs. There we go. Cross that gap. And I love this little movement here. We can preserve momentum off of that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Get an ultra hop up here. And that's our first. These are essentially pieces of heart. I don't think they have an actual name in this game. Get 3 of them in this one. You get an extra like health. We'll preserve momentum there again. Swoosh down here. And a lot of this game is really just finding ways to keep your momentum and preserve it as much as possible.
I could imagine the routing for this game has evolved over time and been a very fun, enjoyable experience.
Absolutely. I'll comment on. Actually, am I gonna make this jump? I am. I'm gonna
Nice.
comment on a couple route changes throughout this, but yeah, it's very wide open as a lot of kind of Metroidvanias are. We don't have to. I'm gonna actually just take a death here. We're gonna do a lot of death warping as we go along here, so it's not a big deal. We don't have to get all the small keys to complete the category, but we're gonna get most of them anyways. Love doing that. There we go. And we're doing this area backwards, so this is not the intended path. Oops. Go. Come on. There we go. And this is actually a kind of difficult series of jumps right through here. You don't have a lot of room on this platform to get the ultra hops off, so you have to make sure you're lined up. And coming up here is going to be actually our first power-up, I guess. There's power-ups and abilities, these green orbs here. And this is going to be the only one that's actually meaningful for as far as speed tech goes. You'll see here in just a second, I have one aerial kick. And we can do a lot of things with that aerial kick, including getting more distance, which is really important to getting up to places that you're not supposed to be, like this. Try it again. There we go. You can also change directions. Come on, Sybil. Yeah, I'm having... Here we go. We got this. There we go. There we go. Okay, out of the woods. We can change directions, but most importantly, we can kick off of walls, which is going to be really essential to getting to a few places coming up. This is our first and only Celeste bubble that's in this route. So we scooch across there.
So what do the Celeste bubbles do exactly?
Yeah, they essentially they give you like that ultra jump out of there. You can hold on to it for a little bit, then use it, just like they do in Celeste, I suppose. But we're not going to be bothering with them anymore. That's literally the only one we go to. Here we go. Come on.
These air kicks definitely give you a lot of height and
They
break the
do.
game open quite a bit.
They do. We're going to be getting more of them as the game goes on here. There we go.
I'm
Come on,
personally
Sybil.
really enjoying the music in the background.
Yeah, it's really ambient. There we go. Okay, we're going to be leaving the dilapidated dungeon finally here. And we're going to be going to a place that is essential to every category in Pseudoregalia speedrunning, the tower. There's going to be an ability here that's really game-breaking, so even though this is actually the last part of the entire game, we go here very early on. We're going to do a death warp up here. There we go. These are these glide hops. So I'm getting a couple of them really good. If you slide, cancel your slide and press jump, and then on the same frame, and then press jump immediately after, you can get these glide hops. They are actually 2 frame perfect input, so they're not easy.
But super satisfying if you get them down.
Yeah. It feels really good when you you jump out of that glide. So this is the tower. The tower climb. We're supposed to have a whole lot of other abilities because this is the end of the game. We only have our ultra hops right now. There we go. So we're going to be doing some maneuvering around here to get to the cling gem is going to be our ability that we're getting here. Come on. There we go. There's not a lot of room. A similar problem I was having earlier. The ones that are really tight in space, they're hard to do. Okay, here we go. We're going to do... Nope. It's a little harder path. We got backups, though. Ain't no big deal. There we go. Okay, cling gem. This is essentially a wall run. But it really allows us to do a few things because it is there's some tricks we can do with it. Actually, a lot of tricks. So we're going to be seeing one of those in just a little bit. There we go. Again, just maintain some speed sliding off of those.
I also love the art style in this game. It's so unique and retro looking.
Yeah, you could tell me this is a PS1 game, and I would have believed you.
It definitely looked like PS1 N64 type of era.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely thinking N64.
There we go. So we got our wall run.
Wow.
Reattach, and then you can climb 90-degree angles essentially with it. That, as far as I'm aware, is unintended mechanic. Oops.
I know that was probably insanely hard to pull off, but you made it look so easy. It looks so
Yes,
smooth.
speaking of difficult, getting back up onto this tower is a challenge. So we're going to do it, though, right here on this one. There we go. We can just make it across there, but we got backup strats if we fall. So we're in the empty Bailey right now. I'm going to be clearing this out in its entirety. I'm going to be getting everything in here. And when I do, I'm going to actually just do this.
Just infinitely climb up the wall.
Yeah, it's really nice. We'll see. I'll do it again here. We're actually going to lose our ultra hops because of an ability we're going to get. Hopefully that was enough height. I don't think it was. And I'm actually going to be happy to get rid of them because my timings are a little bit off on them. I'm not getting the height I need a lot here. There we go. One more.
Third time's the charm.
Nice.
There we go. See, that's what we're looking for. That yellow trail means I got a really tight timing on it, and you get more height and distance. I'm going to fall down here to hit this dude. And down here, we're going to get Solar Wind. Now, right now, when I'm doing any of these maneuvers, I'm using the jump input to cancel out of my slides. But now when I do that, I initiate this, Solar Wind, which gives us this horizontal kind of jump. And that's great, but we can't do those ultra hops anymore unless we do them right as we land. So the timing is going to be a lot different, and we need more space to do them. We'll see our first one right here, like that. Coming over here, we'll grab Indignation. This is basically going to power up our attacks when we have more mana, so I'm also going to take this opportunity to smack some little egg dudes to max out my mana.
Yeah, so I was going to ask exactly what sort of enemies are we fighting?
This is like a dream castle, I guess. So like those little dudes are just little eggs. There's gonna be some tubas that we go past. There's a lot of little just like weird nonsensical characters. You just saw my first Solar Wind Ultra there as well. You saw that I have to like put Sybil into a slide animation very quickly as I land, and then flick the joystick forward as I jump to get her to do that. This is the library as well. This is easily my favorite kind of area in the whole run, the whole game really. I think it's really cool. I'm going to explain this more later. That was a anti-grav kick. No time to talk about that now though. So we got to go this. Nope, that's okay. We'll do an anti-grav kick up here, and then climb on up. Essentially, if you wall kick into a wall while doing a Solar Wind, you retain some low gravity properties, and you can get some really massive height and get to some unattended places.
This area definitely looks very cool. I've always loved library aesthetics.
Right, yeah. Go. Next ability, this is the Sun Greaves. This is going to give us 3 more kicks, which is really useful. And we're also going to have our first cling clip. We're going to clip out of bounds right over here on one of these tables, and we're going to use that to death warp to the entrance. Whoop! That was smooth.
We're out of bounds.
Those are
in
very
Toronto.
nice. Those are very precise. We're going to be doing a lot of those, both death warps and cling clips to get to some really unintended locations. Particularly knowing where your warp is for death warps is really important for routing. So I'm going to like set my warp point by landing right there, for example, so that I can just grab this health pickup and then turn around. And I'm right here. And I can continue on my way.
So what made you find this game or want to run this game?
Well, it's just like a really great game. Like, there's just such great movement in it that it like begs to be speedran. Ooh,
Yeah.
I just got a frame perfect thing there.
On it.
And like, it's happened already that I've screwed up a handful of times, and there's just like fluid backups. Like, that's what you're doing when you're just like playing casually, right? You're finding really creative ways to just get through the spaces. And I love that about it. You can just be creative on the fly.
Yeah, even if you don't do exactly the movement you can do, you can always back it up and it'll still look fluid. Like, nothing looks like a mistake to me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I've never heard of this game, but it's definitely a game I want to try playing sometime.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Solo dev project as well. And also, we're back in the dilapidated dungeon. This is where we started. We're going to be getting some things that we weren't able to get when we started the game. And then we're going to do some backtracking out of here.
You said this was a solo developed game?
Yeah. It's really
Awesome.
impressive. Ritz is the developer's name. The speedrunning Discord, which I'll shout out later, is housed within his personal Discord, and it was really listened to speedrunners a lot. In particularly, I feel like I mentioned there's another patch that was kind of major. So both allowing us access to the old patch as well as leaving some things in that we really liked, like clipping out of bounds and some other stuff. So I love personally I like when developers listen to what speedrunners are doing,
Yeah.
what we like.
Always appreciate solo devs, and I always appreciate devs who appreciate the speedrunning communities of their games.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Okay, so we just went back through the dilapidated dungeon, and now we're going into the underbelly for, is this our second trip to the underbelly? I think it is. And we're going to do a couple things here. We're going to clip out of bounds. We're going to do something that, I'll explain what that was later. And we're going to do some out of bounds movement. No! Okay. We're going to accidentally clip back in bounds, and we're going to try to do a strat that I haven't practiced in a long time. We're going to clip back out of bounds here.
Out of bounds is the place to be. So much better than inbounds.
Sybil doesn't want to go out of bounds. There she goes.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, so this is my backup strat. And since I haven't done this in a while, I'm actually just going to be quiet during it. Go.
I love the pretty colors.
There we go. Oh, that was very hard. And you notice I was very careful not to touch the ground in a lot of places. That is because I was very careful to not change my death warp. I was just dipping in the underbelly to get that power up and get out. So you have to do some really precise kind of movement to avoid setting a new warp point.
Death warps definitely seem very important for the routing of this.
Yes, they are. There's going to be, actually the next area is far and away the hardest in the game, and there's going to be a lot of abuse of death warps in the theater. Go. So, yes, coming up right here, the theater. Every part of this is hard, starting with this jump right here. Ooh. Nice. Okay, we got
Very
that.
nice.
Very, very nice. You
Now
got
we
it so
have
smooth.
the axe room. I'm going to actually wait so I know what cycle it's on.
just so many moves that you can chain
No.
together that like.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Easy, easy, first try.
First
Okay,
try.
we're gonna get up on this door frame. Sequence break up here,
Nice job.
and there's 3 switches I have to hit to get this key that's below me right now. So there's the first one. The second one, we're gonna clip out of bounds right here. I just hit it. And we're gonna do some other stuff while I'm out of bounds.
I always love the aesthetic of Out of Bounds. It looks so abstract and like you're not supposed to be there, which I love.
Yes, I actually kind of like, I feel like this whole game's aesthetic is that too, because it's so kind of dreamlike in its qualities. Okay, we'll do a lot of climbing up here. So coming up, you're going to see the screen like shrink when I go through a wall. Essentially, I have some buttons mapped to my controller that allows me to change the size of the screen, so I can just introduce some lag into the game, and when I do that, I can clip through some walls. Anyways, we warp back here. We're back at the first switch. We have to hit the third switch, which is right here. There we go. Hit that. Climb. Please fall, Sybil. Sybil, please fall. There we go.
So what did we see just right there? She was suspended, I guess. Right.
Yeah, that was one of those, I was out of bounds and she's not supposed to be there and the game doesn't know what to do with her. We're gonna... Okay. I think we got what we needed to do there.
Shout out to Lag for helping speedrunners out.
Please fall, Sybil. I think I hit the warp point. We'll see. If I have to do some more movement. Yeah, okay. That's no big deal. This is easy. I didn't hit the spawn point as I fell there. So we have backup strats. I can clip out of bounds. Bop, bop, bop. Easy peasy. And we're back to where we were. There we go. So, yeah, I introduced a lot of lag there to clip through some walls as I both cling clipped into a wall. I never really explained cling clips. Essentially, when you do a wall glide, Sybil's butt sticks out the opposite direction, and you can use that to push her through a wall. Right there, I use that gate to push me downward. Try that again. Come on, Sybil. There we go. And we gotta get one more item out of bounds here before we go grab that key that we hit all the switches for. I'm gonna use some first-person strats here. First-person strats here. There we go. First person lets me do some reverse wall kicks a little easier. Okay, now we have to hit this. Go. Woo! Okay, theater basically done. Just a little bit more cleanup in this area. Got the key. Nice, nice. And then one last item. There's a bunch of enemies in that room that can chase you and make your life hard. Like that one that just flew past me. They're kind of relentless. There we go. So that's all the things in theater. I'm finally out of here. I really like that area, even though it is quite difficult because of all those death warps, all those out of bounds clips. And
Hardest areas are the most interesting,
Yeah.
usually.
coming up here, it's going to be a lot more just kind of straight up movement. Less kind of tricks like that, and more just being clean with your like long jumps like that. Go. like I said earlier, I'm not calling out what any of these power-ups do because basically none of them really impact us movement-wise or anything. So they're not too, like...
Are collecting them required for, like, progression?
For progression, no. So the only things you need to do to like beat the game are get all the 5 of the major keys to get to the final boss. So I mean, technically, you're gonna need some abilities to be able to get to them, get to those keys and stuff. But if you're able to get to the final boss door, all you need to get into it is those 5 keys. Okay, go. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do first person strats again right here. Go. And this is where I always think about, you mentioned earlier, routing this game. We used to have to climb this. We used to go up it. It's so much nicer just to fall down.
Falling down is much faster than climbing up. Life tips.
Yeah. We use gravity to help us there. Dodge these little dudes. And there we go. We use our Ascendant Light. We haven't used that a lot. But we'll do it off the torch to get up there.
I feel like you move so fast the enemies barely even notice you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really, you know, a combat-heavy game or anything, but, like, yeah, we really just go around all the enemies. This jump is very difficult. Something with the timing on this slope makes it kind of tricky to do the jump I usually do here. I've actually only gotten it first try once, and that was when I was at Frame Fatales. So I think I'm just going to do a backup.
Just in awe of the movement. It's all so fluid, and I love the momentum-based nature of it.
Yeah, it's fun. Speaking of combat, and... Okay. Speaking of combat, if I get to it, we have our first combat of the run. We'll see how the RNG goes. Bad. Ideally, I don't have to dodge, but I had to dodge there. If she hits me, I would have lost my Dream Breaker, and that's a time loss. So ideally, she throws plates at you, but the maid not. So that gave us Strike Break, I think. We can break those walls with it. And this is our final trip into the Underbelly. The Underbelly is a tough routing conundrum. It's really big, and we have to go to it a whole bunch of times. But we're going to do a clink clip here into the Underbelly because we don't actually have the ability required to break this down to get in here. So let me, here we go, do that. And we're going in here simply to get a key, one of the major keys. And this is a tough puzzle. I think a lot of casual players have a lot of difficulty with this puzzle. We're not going to do any puzzles here.
Puzzles are just suggestions.
Yeah, puzzles are suggestions, walls are suggestions. I'm going to use a lot of my movement abilities to do that, fall into the lava, and to leave.
So in that puzzle, what were you supposed to do?
That's a good question. I've never done it. I have no idea.
Classic speedrunners never playing their game
Yeah,
casually.
right. The game kind of like begs you to find ways around its like intended paths, so it gives you so many movement abilities.
It definitely seems like one of those games where it's like, it's more fun if you try to, maybe not break it, but like explore it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I really feel like that's almost like intended as well. Find creative solutions. Okay, so the keep. I'm going to note as I go past here that I'm setting a warp point, a death warp right there. That's going to come in handy later. Okay. And we're going to get out of bounds by exploiting the fact that the wall does not go all the way, ceiling does not go all the way over there. A pretty tough cling clip here. See if it's nice to me. There we go. There's one, and then, yes, we got through the other side easy.
Very nice.
So this brought us all the way to the switch that opens this gate here. There's a lot of movement, a lot of rooms we have to go to get to that switch. We can clip straight to it to get this key right here. And now this is the hardest clip in the game. I'm going to get it first try, though, which is cool. I really love that for myself. Ah, damn. This is pixel perfect. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right here. Perfect.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
Then
very,
we'll fall
very
out of bounds by introducing some lag. Yeah, that one can be a run killer. You can be stuck there for, 30 seconds trying to get that clip to work for you. Okay. Go. And our second to last, I believe, health upgrade. Something that kind of annoys me about this game that really shouldn't is there is one more health pickup than there is, you can have the max amount of health you can have, but there's like one more heart piece. There's like not an even amount of them. And that just annoys me. I don't know why. Okay. Sunsetter.
What does that one do?
That. So we can break the floor, and we can dive down. We're going to be using it just a little bit. It actually gives you another ability that I'm not going to be using. You can backflip in midair, but just because how routing shakes out, I never have to do that.
You just don't need it.
Yeah, it's a really useful, actually, piece of movement tech. Our last power-up. And then we'll be onto our... Come on. Yeah, it's very actually difficult to control the direction that Sybil goes out of her ultra jumps. You have to be very quick with your flicking the joystick. Okay, last health. And we're going to be returning to the tower for the final boss.
nice.
Go.
Do we have time for a quick message?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, LinearC's Out of Bounds Toronto is being held at See-scape. See-scape is Toronto's original sci-fi cyberpunk themed bar and cafe. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or just looking for a night of adventure, See-scape offers weekly events like karaoke, movies, games, and magic. They also have hundreds of board games and video games that you can rent and play daily. I've gone down there. There's so many board games. If I had time, I'd play all of them. You can check out their website at seascapeto.com or by typing !Seascape in chat.
Perfect, thank you. So we have to do the second part of the tower climb here. We're not going to do the intended way. We have a very tight jump here, though. Easy, got it. So we skip whatever the puzzle is to get up here, don't know. And I'm going to be very careful getting this key. Every runner has fallen off getting that key, trying to go too fast, not doing that right now. We open the door to darkness. And we're on to the final boss, the princess. So what I'm going to be trying to do on the princess is manage keeping my mana high, because I do more damage when I have more mana, with doing the strike break abilities that I got. The princess is also very RNG dependent. She has a lot of moves. She is quite difficult, honestly, so we'll see if she's nice to me here.
I thought we usually save the princess.
No, the princess is the bane of our existence in this. Okay.
I love this music.
Yes, and she is erratic. She teleports everywhere. Ooh, I don't love that. Okay, good. Okay, that means that I'm halfway through her health pool. So time is going to be coming up on final hit, which being a little bit. Close. This might be it right here. Dang. Time.
Yay, GG.
There we go.
Awesome.
So, that was Pseudoregalia. It's a really fun game. It's only $6 on Steam. I super recommend picking it up, whether you're going to be speedrunning or not. Speedrunning community is super great for Pseudoregalia as well. We have a lot of activity right now with some new runners and some people trying to do blindfolded runs, which is incomprehensible to me. So yeah, check it out. Let's see, what else? I'm MadzBrutal. You can check me out on all socials at that handle. I do some 3D platformers. I do a lot more roguelites, specifically Hades 2 is taking up most of my time right now. But otherwise, I guess I want to thank awesome hosts and Lady Arcaders. This event is really cool. And I think that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that amazing run. We are going to take a short break while we get set up for the next segment.